Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. Please confirm to me, guys. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Yeah. Good evening to all. Good evening. Guys, and one small information to all of you. Good. And I am listening and I'm seeing all of your questions or messages what you are submitting through this questions box. Right? I think all of you are having questions box, right? All of you are seeing your question box, right? All of you are having question box, right? Yes. All of you are having question box. Yes, am I right? Right, sir. Now I'm sending a message to all of you know. Check in that question box. I've received that message. Just I submitted a message. Just a hi message I sent to all of you. All of you are having. All of you have received it. Yeah, that's fine. So what I'm telling you know. So in even I'm explaining the concepts. Even I'm explaining the concepts point by point. I'm discussing with you. Then whatever the messages you are submitted to me, I'm seeing all of your messages. Understand it? Every message I'm seeing that. But if it is required to give answer for that message, respond for it, no, just I will check the password and I will give reply immediately. Yeah, my health is okay, good, no problem. And yesterday, it's not like that. Anyway, then it's okay, fine. Just I'm seeing, I'm seeing, yeah, I'm seeing all of your messages. No, just try to send messages there. If it is related and immediately if it is response, immediately we have to give. If I think I want to give response immediately, then definitely I will give response to you immediately now. But max you can ask that related to our current class and current class subject max we can ask there. So this is the point I'm telling to you know. So just you can submit messages. I can see your messages and max level I'm able to give responses to you as much as possible. And why I'm repeating this one? And some people have called to admin. Some people have called to admin and they are saying, so whether sir is seeing my message or not. If sir is seeing my messages, then all I want to register for this course. Otherwise, I don't want to register for the course now. People are saying like this. So no problem. Even I'm not giving information because of that reason. I'm giving clearly all of your messages. I'm seeing every day. I'm seeing that messages now. Every day I'm seeing that messages. So no need to worry for that. We can send that messages if it is related to subject. If it is immediately give response to give response, no, immediately I will go for that response. That's okay. Good. Hear this, guys. That's fine. And now coming to the content, what we completed there overall Java features topic we are discussing. Inside this Java features topic, what we completed here. First of all, I've given information like which one to describe the nature of Java programming language. We have to go for Java features. What are the various features are available in Java? What are the various features are available here now? Simple, object oriented, platform independent, architectural neutral, portable, robust, dynamic, secure, multi-threaded, distributed, interpreted, high performance. Right, so now these are like which one overall and a 12 number of features are existed. Already we had some discussion on. Then first few points we discussed there. What are the few points here we discussed now? First one is like which one? Simple programming language. Java applications are able to take less memory and less execution time. Java has removed all the confusion oriented features like which one? Pointers, multiple inheritance and so on. Java is using all simplified syntaxes from C and C++. All of you observe this clearly. Java applications are able to take less memory and less execution time. Java has removed all the confusion oriented features like pointers, multiple inheritance, and so on. Java is using all simplified syntaxes from and C and C++. Right, sir. Good. And the next one is like which one here? Object-oriented programming language. Java is an object-oriented programming language. Why? Because Java allows its applications to store data in the form of objects. Right. Next one is Java is a platform independent programming language. Java is a platform independent programming language. Why? Because Java allows its applications. Java allows its applications to perform. Compilation is in one operating system and execution is on another operating system. Architectural neutral. Java is an architectural neutral programming language. Why? Because Java allows its applications to perform. Compilation is on one hardware architecture and execution is on another hardware architecture. Portable. Java is able to run its applications under all the operating systems under all the hardware systems. Java is able to provide fixed memory allocations for the primitive data. Right, sir. These are the various reasons are given, various points here we understood clearly. No? That's okay, good. Right. Right, sir. Taranam Fatma. Taranam Fatma. Good. Just one time talk with our admin people regarding that, and we can use that number 885252627. Just call to this number, and Bhavan is a respective person for this, and she will talk with you regarding that procedure. Okay, fine. Right, sir. Okay, Fatma. Taranam Fatma. Is it okay? Got my information? No response. Right, sir. Next point is a robust programming language. Robust programming language. Before thinking of it, Java is a robust programming language or not, first of all, tell me what is robust programming language. When we are able to say one programming language is a robust programming language. Come on, guys. Now tell me what is your idea on this robust programming language? What about your idea on this robust programming language? Strong. Strong in the sense about memory. Fast execution. No idea. This is perfect. Yeah, perfect answer. Less errors. Right? Less errors. Good. Come on, guys. Then these many members are attending now. Just everybody has to give response for it. Style of programming, Sindhuja. Automatically helps for fast processing. Fast process, Shashi Kumar. Good. Memory management. Tightly coupled. Good, good, good. Security is high. That's why. Yes, Mayuri. Good. Nowadays, sir. Gokul. Allocation and reallocation. Namdev. Love her. Fine. Guys, now that's fine. Good. All of your answers are acceptable and all of your answers are right. Max. Now, anyway, I'm going to give my version or try to observe this clearly. When a programming language is a robust programming language, technically or in the point of programming languages, just I'm explaining to you, robust is a general word, then English meaning is available. But technically, in the point of this programming languages, how can we say one programming language is a robust programming language? If we think of it, if we think about this particular point, what is that answer here I'm telling you? If any programming language is very good, if any programming language is very good at, all of you observe this clearly, if any programming language is very good at memory management and exception handling mechanisms. If any programming language is very good at memory management and exception handling mechanisms, then that programming language is a robust programming language. That's it. If any programming language is very good at memory management and exception handling mechanisms, then that programming language is a robust programming language. Right, sir? All of you have to this clear. If any programming language is very good at memory management and exception handling mechanisms, then that programming language is a robust programming language. That's okay, good. Now coming to this Java, I confirmed. I decided Java is a robust programming language. Come on, guys. Java is a robust programming language. Why? Why? Because what are the reasons? No. Already we understood that reasons. What are the reasons? No. First one is like which one here? Memory management point of view. And the second one is which one? Exception handling mechanisms. Right. If you observe these two things, no. Java is which one? A robust programming language. Java is a robust programming language. Why? Because point number one, Java is very good in the point of memory management system. How can we say Java is very good in the point of memory management system? What's the reason for it? How can we say Java is very good in the point of memory management system? Yes, reason is Java had heap memory management system. Java had heap memory management system. What is this heap memory management system, sir? What is this heap memory management system? It is a dynamic memory management system. It's a dynamic memory management system. What is this dynamic memory management system? Again, this is a question now. What is this dynamic memory management system? Right. Answer I'm telling you now. It allocates and deallocates memory for the objects at a runtime. It allocates and deallocates memory for the objects at a runtime as per the application requirement. If your application required memory, my memory management system is ready to allocate memory. If our application doesn't require memory, then our memory manager, the memory management system is ready to deallocate memory for that. So our memory allocation and memory deallocation are possible at runtime, depending on your application requirements. Fine. With this, we can understand the Java programming language has very good memory management system. Java programming language has very good memory management system in the form of like which one? Heap memory management system. Right, sir. So memory management point of view, Java is very good. Not only that, along with this point, I want to add one more statement. Java had a garbage collector. Moreover, Java has garbage collector. What's the job of the garbage collector? It able to destroy the objects. It able to destroy the objects as per our intimation or as per or its internal implementation. It able to destroy the objects where developer is not thinking much about object to destruction. Automatically, garbage collector will destroy that object. It's part of the memory management only. So memory management is very good with the help of this type of components like garbage collector. So by recognizing, by considering all these points, we can conclude Java is very good at memory management. So because of this reason, Java is which one? Robust programming language. Because of these reasons, we can conclude Java is robust programming language. That's it. This is one point. Second reason. Java has very good exception handling mechanisms. Java has very good exception handling mechanisms. Why? Because Java has provided very good predefined library. Very good predefined library to recognize and represent almost all. One more minute. Java has very good predefined library to represent and handle almost all the all the exceptions which are generating frequently in Java applications. That's it. So Java has very good exception handling mechanisms. Why? Because Java has provided very good predefined library to represent and handle almost all the exceptions which are generating frequently in Java applications. That's because of that reason here we can think and Java is very good at exception handling mechanisms, and Java is very good at memory management system. That's why Java is like which one a robust programming language. But I have a question, sir. What is this exception and what is this exception handling mechanisms? What is this exception? What is exception handling? And what is the meaning of exception handling mechanisms? That's my question. First of all, get clarity on it. Then after that, we'll think of it. How exception handling is very good in the case of Java. How exception handling is very good in the case of Java. Later on, we'll think about it. But at present, we have to understand and what exactly the meaning of like which one? Exception handling and exception handling mechanisms. Right, so now at present, just we can understand it now. At present, at a basic point now, at a startup level, we have to think about it. At startup level, we have to think about it. Exception at a startup level, we have to understand it. Exception is a runtime error. Again, in exception handling, I will give very good definition for this exception. Not immediately. Right, sir. Exception is runtime error. Runtime error. Exception is nothing but which one? Runtime error. And causes abnormal termination to the applications. Exception is runtime error and causes abnormal termination to the applications. Come on, guys. Now tell me, what is the meaning of abnormal termination to the applications? What we are understanding about this abnormal termination? Now tell me. Now. Any idea? What is the meaning of abnormal termination? Right? What is abnormal termination? Right, sir. Abnormal termination is, so anyway, understand it. Two types of terminations are available. Two types of terminations are possible for programs in Java. What are the two types of terminations in Java? First one is smooth termination and second one is abnormal termination. First one is smooth termination and second one is which one? Abnormal termination. So what is a smooth termination and what is abnormal termination? If the program is terminated at the end of the program, if the program is terminated at the end, then it is called as smooth termination. If the program is terminated at the end, then it is called as smooth termination. If the program is terminated in the middle, then then it is called as like which one? Abnormal termination. Say for example, guys, all of you observe carefully. I'm giving one example. Say for example, I'm watching a movie in a theater. I went to the theater and where I'm watching a movie. Right, in a theater where I'm watching a movie. All of you observe this clearly now. Now, I'm seeing that I'm watching that movie. It's going on continuously. That movie is very good, and interval is happened. Interval is completed. Again, movie was started, and we started watching that movie again after that interval also. It's going on good. Everything is going on good. Then, just before half an hour of that movie, we are waiting for the climax. But just before half an hour of that movie, all of a sudden movie was stopped. All of a sudden movie was stopped. Then immediately we thought of it, why movie was stopped. It may be again the movie may continue again after 5 minutes or after 10 minutes. Just we thought like that. But after half an hour also that movie was might be that stop. Half an hour of time was completed, but still movie was not run. Then immediately we went to outside of the theater, and we went to the management of the theater and we asked them, and they said to us, so there is a power failure, and because of that reason, because of that power failure, only movie was stopped. Then we asked again, then why don't you manage the power backup system then? And they said us that a power backup system is also available, immediately try. But unfortunately, that power backup system is also having some problem. So we don't have any alternative to continue to watch that movie completely. Just we have to get from the theater. Maybe some alternative they will provide on next day. They want to provide an alternative movie on next day, but we don't like that. And in the middle of that movie, we quit from the theater. But I came out from the theater without seeing any the end title. Without seeing any the end title, I came out from the theater. So this type of termination is nothing but which one? Abnormal termination. Terminating our movie abnormally due to some unexpected event, due to some unexpected thing. Our movie was stopped. So this termination is called as which one? Abnormal termination. But if I quit from theater after seeing the end title only, movie was completed, 2.5 hour movie was completed. We like that. Climax is also be completed. So then everything is okay. Finally on the screen we have seen the end title. Then scrolling titles are coming. Then we have seen that there is an ending point of that movie. Then we quit from theater. When we quit from theater, then we thought of it, movie was completed, that's it. Now, this type of termination is nothing but which one? Smooth termination. Smooth termination. So here, two types of terminations are available. One is abnormal termination, another one is which one? Smooth termination. Similarly, in the case of Java applications, when we run this completely, when we run this application completely, at the end of the program, if we terminate our program, if we came out from our flow of execution, then this type of termination is called as, like which one can know, smooth termination. But in the middle of the program, if the program is terminated, then this type of termination is called as, like which one? No, smooth termination. This is what exactly the difference between smooth termination and the next one is like which one? No, abnormal termination. Right, sir. This is the difference between smooth termination and next one is like which one? Abnormal termination. We have to observe these points clearly. Right. One more point I'm telling to you. If the program is in abnormal termination, it may cause n number of problems. If the program is in abnormal termination, then it may cause n number of problems. It may cause n number of problems. What are the various problems here we are able to get? No, we can observe this, that n number of problems are like which one here? N number of problems are like which one? No, it may corrupt our operating system. It may corrupt our operating system. If it is a network-based application, it may provide a hanged out situation. If that application is a network-based application, that network may be hanged out. Because of one program abnormal termination, the total network may be hanged out. This is one thing. Next, other point I'm telling to you know, if it is database-related application, then one program abnormal termination, and may corrupt our database completely. No, it may corrupt our database completely. All of you observe this clearly now. If it is like server-side application now, the total server may be shut down because of abnormal termination on our program. The total server may be shut down. The total server may be down. If the server is down, it may give effect to other modules also, maybe max. It may not be possible to complete the total application and to run the total application. So like this, n number of problems here we are able to get. Understand this clearly now with this abnormal terminations. So because of that reason, max level we are going to avoid these abnormal terminations. Max we have to manage our program with the safe exit mode. Understand it clearly. So because of that reason, what I'm telling you know, whenever we are getting this abnormal termination, these many problems are coming there. To avoid all these problems, we have to avoid this abnormal termination. If you want to avoid abnormal termination, we have to handle that exceptions properly. If you want to handle exception properly, there we have to go for which one? Exception handling mechanisms. If you want to handle the exceptions, there we have to go for which one? Exception handling mechanisms. That's it. This is what exactly the meaning of like which one? No, exception handling mechanisms content. But still I'm getting confusion. What is the meaning of exception handling? What is the meaning of exception handling? Exception I understood. Exception handling mechanisms we required to avoid these abnormal terminations we understood. But what exactly the meaning of handling that exception? I think, sir, whenever we are getting an exception, try to catch it, and handle it. Provide smooth termination to our application. Even though we are getting exception now, try to convert abnormal termination to smooth termination. Try to avoid abnormal termination, and in place of that, we have to provide which one? Smooth termination. So this type of point scale we have to understand. Anyway, I'll give clarity about this exceptionality. For simple example, guys, I'm asking one question to all of you. Now try to answer for it. Come on, guys. How many of you are still depending on our parents? Now answer for my question. Of course, it is difficult to answer for yourself also. How many of you are still depending on your parents? How many of you are taking money from your parents still? Me too sometimes. Depends means taking money. Yeah, definitely. Taking money. See, always dependency is required there, but money point of view, I'm asking there. Right? Only for education, for a very whatever it may be. No, sir, not dependent. Not. Yes. Most of the times depending only. Sometimes only. Dependent. Good, 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 good. Fully dependent. Right. The full platform independent. Platform dependent. Last 6 months. Okay, sir. Good. Anyway, guys, in general, I'm asking to all of you. Now tell me in general. Right. Taranam Fatma. Right. Of course, might be if you are girls in general and might be depending on parents in the sense after getting married, you may not be depending on parents much. You may be depending on your exposure, right? That means your husband, right? That's okay, good. Depending on husband, right? You're not depending on your parents, but because why? Because I'm depending on my husband. That's fine, right? And this anyway. Then what I'm telling to you, finally, in general, I'm asking there, how much is your expenditure per month? How much is your expenditure per month? That means your spending amount per month. How much you are spending? Come on, guys, at least rough idea. Anyway, of course, you are not calculating that. 7,000, 20,000. Wasim Akram, where you are staying? Sound party. 2,000. Okay, fine. 4 to 5 pounds. Okay, 400 to 500 pounds. That's fine. 12,000. Oh, okay, fine. 1,000. 10,000. Why, sir? Why 12,000? 10K, minimum 10K, 4,000 to 5,000. Stay hostel at 5,000. Rent and expenditure, all these things, 20,000. Wasim Akram, yeah, you're from Sound Party, right? Course fee only, no? Except the course fee, I'm asking to you. As course fee, we are not collecting monthly wise, right? Around $1,000. Yeah, out of the home, even 10,000. Where you are staying, Fatma? From where you are attending these classes? Right. You are from which city? You to study. That's okay. From where you are attending? Okay, guys, good. Be here. That's fine. Okay, then what I am asking to, why I am asking this point now, for example, if you are not with your parents and if you are not working, of course, if you are depending on your husband and if you are at Hyderabad for learning courses, you are coming, and if you are, might be, and dependencies are not available with you, they are available at some other location. But every month they used to send 10,000 or some amount or not. Every month they used to send. If you are depending on your husband or maybe your parents now, and might be then your parents or your husband may send some amount of money. Good, that's fine. Might be then. If you want to get money from our accounts, that maximum used to go for ATM centers, right? Maximum used to go for ATM centers. In ATM centers, was what we have to do now? What exactly the operations we have to do? Okay, fine. Now, okay, fine, good. Delhi, good. Are still in Delhi. That's okay, good. And for example, assume it. Okay, fine. For example, I want to see. I myself also am depending on my parents, guys. Yeah, no problem. Myself also, I'm depending on my parents. My parents are sending money 10,000 every month for me for my expenditure. Yeah. Okay, fine. My parents are sending 10,000 to me. Good. Every month 10,000. Every month ending 10,000 coming to me. Then I want to collect it. So I'll go to some ATM center. In ATM center, I want to take it. So what we have to do? What I have to do? So first of all, I'll go to ATM center. Then where I will keep my ATM card. Now immediately it is asking. What it is asking there now? Just enter your language. English I entered. And next one is like which one, enter our pin number. I entered pin number. Next one is a menu is provided. 2 columns menu. Right side second option. Always my favorite action. What is right side is second option there? What is right side second option in the ATM centers now? Withdrawal option. Just I selected that withdrawal. Good. Right, sir. When I select that withdrawal, then it is asking how much amount. Or maybe first it is asking like which one they know and specify your account type. Savings I specified. After that it is asking how much amount. I know in my account 10,000 is available. I know in my account 10,000 amount is existed. Only 10,000. Why? Because every month I'm expending that. And 10,000 amount is existed in my account. That's fine. But I want to check this ATM machine is working fine or not. I want to check whether this ATM machine is working fine or not. That's why that withdrawal amount I entered 15,000. But I know in my account only 10,000 is available. But I want to check that ATM machine whether it is working fine or not. So I entered 15,000. What happens, sir? In the next minute, what happened? In the next minute, ATM machine will give a message to us. Don't do overaction with ATM machine. I know about your intention. Please specify valid amount. You're getting that message or not? Come on, guys. Then immediately ATM machine is giving some message or not? Observe this clearly. No? So if I enter some 15,000 and if ATM machine is taking that 15,000 and if it is released 15,000 rupees to me, what will happen? What will happen in the next minute now? In my account 10,000 amount is available, but if ATM machine releases 15,000 rupees to me, as per my specification 15,000, if ATM machine is providing 15,000 rupees to me, then what will happen in the next minute now? All of you observe this clearly now. Next minute, what will happen? Everybody will stand in front of that ATM center only, and queue and queue of people may be stranded. Then everybody will use that ATM machine to get that money. How much they require? Even people are going to say 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 1 crore also. Observe this clearly now. So in the next day, that bank has to be closed if it is a case. In the next day, bank has to be closed if it is a case. Observe this clearly now. Right. This is the problem what we are going to get if you are not handling exceptions properly. If the ATM software is not good, where exceptions are not handled properly, this type of problems here we are able to get. In this scenario, what is that exception? Exception is like which one here? Providing unexpected event to our program. Providing unexpected event to our program. What is that unexpected event here now? ATM software is expecting 10,000 as per our amount exists in our account, 10,000 or less than 10,000, but we provided more than 10,000. If that situation is not handled properly by ATM software, then problems are going on. very good problems are going on. Maybe that bank has to be closed in the next attempt, if it is a case now. So because of that reason, the situation has to be handled. But of course, almost all the banks, but almost all the banks nowadays, they are providing their softwares with a very strong security levels. So they will not allow. No ATM software is allowing this kind of transactions, of course. But example point of, I'm telling you, but here, what is the handling situation now? Whenever we entered 15,000, which is a greater amount when compared with the amount which is existing in our account. If it is a case, now immediately what ATM softwares are doing, they're catching that situation and they're giving information to that user. Insufficient funds, insufficient funds in our account. Please specify valid withdrawal amount, which is lesser amount when compared with your account. Right? ATM centers are providing that information, and program is terminated then immediately. But this is not this is not abnormal termination. This is not abnormal termination. This is like which one can know smooth termination. Why? Because it catch the respective situation and giving message to the user, you are doing something wrong, so try to correct it. Then if user is not responding that, then program is terminated, not immediate, not middle, and it will be terminated with a smooth. That means at the end of the program only. So this is the meaning of handling mechanisms. So if you handle the exceptions properly, you will not get any problem. If you're not handling that exception properly, abnormal terminations are going on. When abnormal terminations are going on, the total system is going to be corrupted. Maybe operating system may be corrupted, network may be hanged out, or maybe server side application may be down. The total scenario is going to be down. So that's why, because of that reason, exception handling is very, very important in programming. So as per that only, we are thinking Java had very good exception handling mechanisms. Why? Because Java has provided very good predefined library. Java has a very good predefined library, and to represent and handle number of exceptions which are coming frequently in Java applications. That's why Java is very strong in the point of exception handling mechanisms. So finally, I'm concluding Java is robust programming language. Java is robust programming language because of its very good, strong exception handling mechanisms. That's it. This is the total awareness curve we can understand, sir. Finally, 2 points now. Java is very good at memory management. Java is very good at exception handling mechanisms. So Java is which one? A robust programming language. Right, sir. Now come to our point here. Then what about the next one? Dynamic programming language. All of you give response for me. What exactly the meaning of dynamic programming language? Come on, guys. Now, first of all, tell me, before this Java, tell me, what is dynamic programming language? When we are able to say one programming language is dynamic programming language, any reason for it? Any reason for it? Memory, that means dynamic programming language. Right, sir. So number of reasons are provided here, but only one reason here I'm telling to you. So if we want to decide a programming language is a static programming language or dynamic programming language, that is totally depending on memory allocation, majorly memory allocation. Majorly memory allocation. If the memory allocation is happened at compilation time, if the memory allocation is going on at compilation time, then that programming language is a static programming language. If the memory allocation is going on at runtime, then that programming language is a dynamic programming language. Observe this clearly. So here itself I'm giving confirmation to you, clearly understand it. No, Java is a dynamic programming language. Java is a dynamic programming language. How can you say Java is a dynamic programming language? Why? Because Java allows memory allocation for data at runtime, not at compilation time. Java provides memory allocation for the data at runtime, not at compilation time. Because of this reason, we can conclude Java is very good at like which one can know memory allocation and at runtime. So that's why Java is like which one? The dynamic programming language. Leave it. Next one is a secure programming language. Right, sir? Now, before going to understand Java is a secure or not, first of all, in general, when we are able to say a programming language is a secure programming language, when it is possible to say a programming language is a secure programming language, I'll give some reasons. If any programming language, if any programming language is providing the following three types of security levels, then that programming language is a secure programming language. Guys, all of you observe this clearly. If any programming language is having three types of security levels, I will give the three types of security levels, no? Right, so now, then that programming language is like which one? Secure programming language. So Java is a secure programming language. Java is a secure programming language. Why? Because what are the reasons now? I'm telling to you three reasons, three levels of security. First one is like which one? Implicit security. Because of this implicit security. And second one is because of web security. And third one is because of network security. Maybe hacking and all these things will come under either of this part. Totally, if any programming language is having these levels of security, then automatically that programming language is a secure programming language. First one is implicit security, next one is web security, third one is like which one? Network security. How Java is very good at implicit security? First of all, what is the meaning of this implicit security? Nothing, sir. Whenever we are executing our Java program internally inside the JVM, a few components are available inside the JVM. Come on, guys. Now tell me, I'm asking one question to you know. Do you have any awareness on the components which are available inside the JVM? Anyway, Java programs are executed by JVM only. That's okay. But if I open JVM, what I can see? What I can see inside the JVM? Can you tell me what are the various components inside the JVM? Compiler, Mayuri, right? Good. Execution, okay, fine. Stack, Navi, right? Compiler, okay, fine. Translator, Nitesh. Fine. Heap, Navi, good. Heap manager, of course. Compiler. Any other? Inside the JVM, as per our awareness. Heap manager, okay, good. JRE, okay, fine. Right, sir. Good, good. Right, sir. Jini Mutunda at runtime. Juni Mutunda. From where you are attending this class? A garbage collector, that's right. Registers are set. Right, right, good, good. Yeah, South Africa. That's fine. Yes, I think so. Juni Mutunda. I think so. You only trying to open my email, right? Fine. Yes, am I right? Right, sir. Good. Right, sir. Good. Fine. Now, what I'm telling to you clearly, all of you listen carefully. Inside the JVM, number of components are existed. First one is class loader. Understand it? Just some of the components I'm telling you know. Class loader. Next one is JIT compiler, just-in-time compiler, interpreter, garbage collector, security manager, as all of you observe this clearly now. Security manager. Okay, security manager. After that, some other few components are available there. Good. So inside the JVM, security manager is existed. It will take the responsibility of like which one? Implicit security. Just checking whether bytecode is in a well-formed format or not. The right bytecode is coming to execute our program or not. Any misformations are exist or not. any viruses are included or not inside our batch code. So everything will be checked by which one? Security manager. It will take the responsibility of which one? Implicit security. So Java has very good implicit security. That's it. Java has very good implicit security. Because of this reason also we can say Java is secure programming language. This is one point. Next, after that, web security. Web security. Right, sir. Now observe this clearly. What is this web security? What is this web security? What is the meaning of web security? Come on, guys. Now, just I'm asking question to all of you now. Just what is web security? Encrypted and firewall. Okay, good answers. Any other answers? Firewall. Okay. SSL. That's fine. So firewall or encrypted and all these things are related to network security, not web security. Not web security, network security. They are related to network security. Understand it now? Right. Web security in the sense like which one? Authentication and authorization. Web application security in the sense like which one? Authentication and authorization. Understand my point here? Assigning roles to the users to access our content or blocking users to access our content and this kind of things. All these things are come under like which one? No. And authentication and authorization mechanisms and web security. So web security in the sense like which one? Authentication and authorization mechanism. See, nowadays in every web application, authentication is required and some authorization is also required. Understand my point here? So web security, wherever web security is available, then that programming language is very good at web application level. So Java had very good web security. We can say that Java had which one? No, very good web security. As all of you observe this clearly. No? Java has like which one? Very good web security. Understand it now? So because how can we say Java is having very good web security? No, how can we say like this? Yes, answer for this question is very clear. In the case of Java, a middleware service is provided by Sun Microsystems. That middleware service is which one? JAS. What is this middleware service? JAS. What is the meaning of this JAS, sir? Now, this clearly no. Right, sir. Now it will be like which one? Java authentication and authorization. Java authentication and authorization. All of you observe carefully. So web security is associated with the authentication and authorization. So that authentication and authorization was provided by Sun Microsystems. That means Java programming language with a very good implementation part, predefined implementation. Then that is exactly like which one can know, right? JAS, Java authentication and authorization service. So because of this type of implementation for authentication and authorization, we can conclude that Java is very good at web security. Java is very good at web security. Leave it. This is one point. Next one is after completion of this, network security. Network security. This is another one. Guys, now can you tell me what are these network security? Do you have any idea about this network security? What are the various network security algorithms are available? Can you tell me now? What are the various network security algorithms are existed here? Can you tell me? Right, sir. Yes, SSL, encryption, and so on and so on and so on. Yes, right, perfectly. No. Right, sir. Network security in the sense network security algorithms are available. What are the various network security algorithms? Simply you can understand it. Encryption and decryption algorithms. Encryption and decryption algorithms are available, like Bluefish algorithm, RSA algorithm, shared key algorithm, public key algorithm. Like this number of algorithms are available. All these algorithms are implementing security, network security only. Good. Now I'm telling clearly, Java is having very good network security. How Java is providing very good network security? The reason is like which one? Java has provided predefined implementation for almost all the network security algorithms. Java has provided predefined implementation for almost all the network security algorithms. So by recognizing all these points, by thinking about all these points, Java is a secure programming language. By thinking about all these points, we can conclude Java is a a secure programming language. That's it. This is what exactly the meaning of like which one? Java, and it's a security. Java is a secure programming language because of few reasons. One is implicit security, that is done by security manager inside the JVM. Next one is web security, that is provided with JAS, a middleware service which is provided by Java and J2E modules. Network. Next one is network security. Yes, Java is providing very good network security. Why? Because Java has provided very good predefined implementations for almost all the network security algorithms. Because of these reasons, we can conclude that Java is like which one now? A secure programming language. Right, sir. The next one is like which one here? Multi-threaded. Right, sir. Yeah. Verification is under JAS. Yes, exactly. Multi-threaded content here. So anyway, then this topic I will discuss with you tomorrow. Then and before that, I want to share this document to all of you guys. Whatever the documents here we provided. Let me share this document. Guys, any of your new members today? Right, sir. Between PHP and Java, which one is good? If you're asking to me, I can say Java only. Why? Because Java is at mainly development side and PHP is mainly for websites creation, and no demand is available at present. Right, Java only. There is no second thought of it. Okay, sir. Python or Java? Which one is good? Right, sir. Which one is better in future? So I'm suggesting to you, as you are the developer, if you want to survive in outside without thinking about both Java is good or Python is good, but my concern is which one? My recommendation is which one? As you are the student and as you are in learning process now, try to learn both the programming languages at present. Yes. Yeah, call by well, I think so. I didn't prepare any diagram inside the classroom also. Right, sir. Now, better to learn both the programming languages. So why? Because you are the learner, and moreover, if you are having awareness on Java, Python is nothing. Easily we can understand it. Same concepts will be repeated with the small changes. I think some of our students are also attending that classes there. Yes. Why Python is ahead of ML and AI? Why Java is not? Yes, very clear answer. Python libraries are very much suitable for scientific calculations and algorithmic implementations now. So that's why Python language instruction set is very simple and easy processing. Because of that reason, everybody they're thinking about Python for data science. But Java is not for that. Java is mainly for enterprise application development. It's not for data science. That's why because of that reason, data science people are never recommended. They're not recommending Java maximum, but they are recommending which one? Python. That's why Python is going on. That's it. When programming will start, maybe when I'm going to start first application development. After completion of this, I have to go for Java naming conventions and Java programming format. Then after steps to prepare first application. From that point onwards, we are able to start Java. Right, sir. Python is max, then 2.5 to 3 months of time it will take. 2.5 months of time it will take max. Yeah. Usma ma'am. If you want to go for Python, and we have to go for either Django side or we have to go for like which one? Data science side. Then that depends on our interest. Django side, if you want to go there, it's okay, fine. Python, Django, REST API, finish. UI technologies. If you want to go for data science side, no. Python, Next one is NumPy and Pandas, data visualization and machine learning and NLP, natural language processing, and AI, artificial intelligence. Then after that, like which one get neural networks, and this set of technologies are different. But it's somewhat difficult and it's somewhat like which one here and a tough care. We can understand it now. I think so. I didn't prepare any picture, Fatma. I think so, ma'am. I didn't prepare any picture for it. Why? Because just normal explanation all I given. Call by value, call by reference, didn't picture. Just pointers and reference variables picture only I've used for that. Actually, that's why we are not having any separate picture for it. Even these are the pictures I prepared there, Max. Yeah, it's any core Java programming book. Not required, not required. Then whatever the material I'm going to provide to you, that material is final. Why? Because yeah, that material is final, and in that material I included even up to Java 14 version. No textbook is providing up to Java 14 version as of now at present. But I prepared that document and I given that inside this material. Maybe within 1 or 2 days of time you'll get that updated material also. Yeah. As a fresher, what we should learn, sir. So nowadays no difference, sir. Up to the top to bottom of Java we have to learn. If you want to set at Java side, Java experience will consider in the Python, not like that. If you have really in a company experience, then that will be countable a bit. No need to worry for that. Yeah, you can use Nilesh, no problem. Yeah, that's fine. Right, right. Atma, record the diagram. Or do you need the diagram? Yeah. Then I'm taking classes total core Java to up to web services Java side and Python, like Python to up to REST API and UI technologies like which one? Right from like which one there? HTML to up to Node.js and React.js and up to I'm taking classes at present. Yeah, no problem. So on core Java project may not be good. That means scope is not available. Even if you want to prepare that project there, and in a core Java scope is not available. That's why we are not thinking about projects and everything. Maybe at advanced level, advanced units will have that one. Monday we'll have class or not, and tomorrow we'll decide. Max, tomorrow we'll decide. Fatma, Fatma submitting that what I'm telling you know that image. Try to take that and just check that handout spot there in our webinar. Just now I submitted that handout. I've seen that pointers versus reference variable that I've seen that. I've seen that I submitted just now. Right, sir. Monday is Ramjan, I think so, right? Monday is a festival in general, but I will decide that. I will decide whether I'm going to take that session or not. And tomorrow I will take class definitely. Come tomorrow, then Monday class there or not, I will decide that. For getting job, what should I learn and what language, sir? See, that depends on our interest. Which side you want to go there? You want to go at Java side and core Java to web services, we record. If you want to go at Python side, Python to here two options are available. Python to Django is one option. Python to data science is the other option that we have to take. But all are having options. But market trending is going on with like which one data science is having with demand in outside. Then if you are a data scientist, you'll have very good salaries. Yeah. But Java is also very good. But Java is a straight line. Continuous demand is going on for Java. Data science not immediately, sir, but I'm planning for it, but it may take some time. Yeah, at present, nearly I'm teaching 15 plus courses. So that's why it may take some time. Yeah. Okay. Zuni, then definitely I will talk with my admin people. Thank you. Core Java to up to web services. Parallel, if you do that, it may take 6 to 7 months of time. Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Zuni. Just I will talk with my parents. Sorry, I will talk with my admin people. Some people are sending parents now. I read it. Yes. Many thanks. Yeah, front end better. If you have awareness on front end, definitely it will be good. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, DOM, and jQuery, at least up to this much. It will be good thing if you know front end. Yeah. Web service and Hibernate not related, but if you want to learn Spring, Hibernate is required. Right, sir. Yeah, definitely. Neeli Chatterjee, no problem. Okay, guys, thanks a lot. I have one more session now. Thank you. And meet on tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll see that remaining part. So after advanced Java, we can start any technology, sir. Rohit, no problem. First to complete this advanced Java. After this advanced Java, we can start any technology, any number of technologies parallelly. Advanced Java is a junction for it. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot.